Most YouTubers, even the giants of the platform, hit a ceiling at some point. A limit, a point where their growth plateaus. Millions of subscribers? Check. Viral clips? Sure. Sold out shows? Absolutely. But no matter how big they get, they exist within a defined space-a realm of what's possible for internet fame. And then there's Speed.
A YouTube star with 33 million followers has caused absolute chaos on the Gold Coast. Police had to stop traffic and block off streets, and the schoolies flocked to catch a glimpse of IShowSpeed.
Before we dive deep into today's story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and press the notification bell to keep up to date with all the latest news and in-depth dives. His rise isn't just a story of internet fame, it's something else entirely. It's cultural hysteria. It's the kind of fever that cities used to see when the Beatles came to town in the 60s or when Michael Jackson stepped on stage in the 80s. It's crowds shutting down streets, police scrambling to manage chaos, and young fans crying just to get a glimpse. We're talking about Darren Watkins, better known as IShowSpeed, a creator who redefined what it means to go viral. But what if I told you it all started with a random kid named Bradley and just $1.79? One message, one moment. The 26th of March, 2022. Speed is live on YouTube. He's already something of a rising star, 17 years old, 6 million subscribers, and a reputation for being loud, chaotic, and completely unpredictable. On this particular day, like any other, he's bantering with chat, shouting at FIFA, and then a donation comes in. A kid named Bradley sends $1.79 with a simple question. What football team do you support? And in that moment, without thinking, Speed yells 3 words.
Thanks to you, bro.
Bradley donated £1.79 through Super Chat. What soccer football team do you support?
Cristiano Ronaldo, Suey. Simple as that, bro.
That one clip, it changed everything. It wasn't planned, it wasn't rehearsed, just a spontaneous shout out. But unknowingly, Speed had opened a portal into a world far bigger than the one he knew, a world that lived and breathed football. Popping the American bubble. See, most Americans grow up in a sports bubble. Football means touchdowns, Super Bowl Sundays, and Tom Brady. But to the rest of the world, football means the beautiful game, the real football, the one with Messi and Ronaldo, the one played barefoot in Brazil's favelas and echoing through alleyways in Lagos. That little Suey moment. It escaped the bubble. Clips of Speed shouting about Ronaldo began to explode across the globe. Millions of views, retweets, TikToks. People outside the US who had never heard of him were now captivated. Why? Because he wasn't just playing FIFA, he was reacting like no one else had. With genuine passion, hilarious mispronunciations, and over-the-top celebrations that turned every game into a World Cup final. Bradley didn't just send a donation. He handed Speed a golden ticketed invitation to the world's biggest stage. A star is obsessed. As the football fans flooded in, Speed leaned all the way in. He learned about the players, kind of. He started playing FIFA religiously. He screamed, danced, and celebrated each goal like he'd scored it himself. But above all, he developed an obsessiona one-man shrine to one player, Cristiano Ronaldo. At first, it was just a few mentions. Then came the music videos, the Suey chants, even a Ronaldo tattoo. Every stream became an unofficial fan fest. His entire identity was becoming intertwined with Ronaldo's legacy. But Speed didn't just want to talk about his idol, he wanted to meet him. Y'all think I'll meet Ronaldo one day? He asked his chat, eyes filled with hope.
Yo, chat, y'all think one day I'll meet Ronaldo, y'all? I want to meet him one day, bro.
From fan to pursuer. That innocent question marked a shift. Speed was no longer content watching from behind a screen. He wanted to chase his dream literally. He began flying across continents, trying to get Ronaldo's attention. From London's FA Cup matches to the heat of the World Cup in Qatar, Speed was everywhere, waving flags, screaming in the stands, and chasing glimpses of his hero. Each failed attempt only fueled his fire. What began as a funny online obsession turned into a global movement. Fans weren't just watching Speed, they were cheering for him. They needed him to meet Ronaldo. They rooted for it like it was their own dream. Even Ronaldo's teammates started to take notice, going global. As Speed's streams transitioned from gaming to real-life adventures, something incredible happened. His audience exploded. the IRL format unlocked a whole new level of energy. Speed wasn't just a character anymore, he was an experience. With every new country he visited, his following swelled. Japan, the UK, Brazil, India wasn't just traveling, he was touching lives. Playing cricket in Mumbai, screaming Suwi at the Ballon d'Or, diving into new cultures head first. And the fans? They didn't just watch, they showed up in real life. Thousands, tens of thousands, flocking the streets, sprinting through cities, desperate to be part of the chaos. What started as a digital stream now had physical consequences.
Bro, we gotta call the police, bro. We gotta call the police. There's no way we get out of this.
The frenzy turns real. The more Speed traveled, the bigger the crowds became, and with that came danger. In Norway, a mob formed so fast that within 9 minutes, Speed and his team were trapped inside a tiny souvenir shop. With fans pounding on the glass and no way out, police had to be called to rescue them. Norway wasn't an isolated case. From Poland to Thailand, the story repeated itself. Crowds lunging for his clothes, fans grabbing his hat, his hair, anything. City security forces were overwhelmed. And through all of this, Speed kept going, navigating the madness, adjusting his strategy, building a team. Because if he was going to keep this up, he needed more than hype. He needed structure. A new kind of tour. In the summer of 2024, Speed took it to another level in an 18-country tour across Europe. What began as chaotic travel now became a planned operation. Security team exit strategies. Decoy vehicles. Each stream now required military-level coordination, but it worked. From kebabs in Germany to playing street football in Poland to meeting Albania's prime minister, Speed's tour became an event in every city he touched. He gained 2 million subscribers in a single month, breaking records in Asia. His next move was smart and historic. Instead of following the usual influencer route, London, Tokyo, Paris, Speed set his sights on Southeast Asia region often ignored by American stars. And it paid off. The response? Unbelievable. Mobbed in the Philippines, scammed in Vietnam, tuk-tuk crashes in Thailand. He met boxing legend Manny Pacquiao, tasted exotic dishes, crossed 30 million subs in Cambodia, and then came the record breaker. In Indonesia, during a chaotic livestream in Jakarta, Speed became the first English-speaking streamer to hit 1 million concurrent viewers. 1 million people live at once. It was official. Speed had become the most watched live streamer in the world. A full circle moment. From there, it only got wilder. He traveled to Australia, New Zealand, South America. He jumped into the WWE Royal Rumble, collaborated with Kai Cenat. And finally he met the kid who started it all, Bradley, the $1.79 donor. "You're the reason I'm here right now," Speed told him, voice shaking. And in late 2024, the full journey was sealed. Speed won Streamer of the Year, the highest honor in the industry.
Streamer of the Year award goes to IShowSpeed.
Streamer of the Year. That's a crazy one, but look, I want to thank a lot of people. I want to thank my management team. I want to thank my team, my cameraman, my mom, my dad, the countries that allow me to, stream in them places. I want to thank everybody.
The man behind the name. But behind the memes, behind the chaos, there's still Darren. A kid who got kicked out by his mom at 14, moved to Michigan with his dad, and built a career with nothing but energy, ambition, and a webcam. His mom didn't get it at first. His dad simply said, "Go, be happy." That support, he says, kept him grounded. Despite everything, money, fame, millions of fans, Speed never lost sight of why he started: to make people laugh, to lift others up, to be himself. What comes next? Looking ahead to 2025, Speed sees growth not just in numbers, but in who he is. He's not 16 anymore. He wants to mature, improve his content, and evolve without losing the wild, unfiltered spirit that made him a star. His goal? To be remembered as the greatest streamer of all time, the greatest content creator to ever live. And honestly, he's already well on his way.